At 21, I thought I had it all figured out. I just married my high school sweetheart. I was building a career I was proud of and building my first own business. I was excited for the future. And then, with what felt like a blink of an eye, everything fell apart. My marriage ended, my career hit a wall, my grandmother died, and just when I started confronting my childhood trauma. For the first time in my entire life, I felt like my world was upside down. What would you do, or what have you done when you faced a crisis like that? I'm Simon, and the reason I'm telling you this is not because I want to tell you how I hit rock bottom. It's rather and more importantly because I want to tell you how I started rebuilding my life. It wasn't easy, and to be perfectly honest with you, I am not where I want to be yet. But that's okay, because through the growth and the perspective I gained in the last 4 years, I found happiness, purpose, and fulfillment from within myself. Driven by that experience, I wanted to show other people and help other people find the same and make their journeys far better and easier than mine have been. So I'm curious, as you and I step foot on this path for the first time together, how is your situation like? What ideas do you have to overcome your struggle? And stick around until the end, and I promise you, you will walk away with actionable steps to avoid the mistakes I made and embrace clarity and purpose in your own life. Have you ever looked at a relationship and were like, this is it? This is my forever. That was me when I was 15 and I just met my girlfriend. We were best friends, she was my partner in crime, and I thought we'd spend the rest of our lives together. With 21 we married. I started as a solopreneur AV technician and everything looked perfect. But life doesn't always go as planned. A year into a marriage everything changed. She fell in love. She fell in love with someone else. Someone I considered a close friend. I remember the day like it was yesterday. It was the day after her 22nd birthday. COVID was making life pretty hard and we weren't able to celebrate in like a big fashion with Halloween decorations and all her friends present as she always liked. To make this day still as special as possible for her, I went out and bought small presents, wrapped them individually and gave them to friends so she could go trick-or-treating. The afternoon was amazing and we went back to her parents to have dinner and a close friend joined us. We had dinner and it was a nice evening. We laughed and we had stories and many moments to reminisce about the last year of marriage, about the last 8 years of relationship. And around midnight I got tired and I went to bed. And I thought my wife would surely join me at some point so we could have a great ending to this beautiful day. And I waited and waited. 3 hours later she came to bed and I was already half asleep and I didn't realize what was going on. The next day I got up at 8 and she was already up. The apartment was silent, her brother was still sleeping, her parents were preparing breakfast in the kitchen and it smelled like coffee and fresh bread rolls, and she nowhere to be seen. I found her in the living room, sitting on the floor in front of the couch, and she was just staring blank into the distance. I sensed, okay, I think we need to have a conversation, something is off, so I asked her what was wrong, and she didn't say anything. I asked again because I needed to know what we were dealing with, and she said, everything should be fine. That's not enough for me, that's not enough for my marriage. I don't want to flip a coin every day whether it's fine or not. So I asked, do I have to be worried about our relationship, about our marriage? And she said, as long as we're good for each other, it should be fine. As long as we're good for each other, we should be fine. That was hard for me to hear, so I asked the person who promised me that we would spend the rest of our life together whether she thought somebody else would be better for her than me, and she didn't answer. I didn't know what to do, but I knew there wasn't much I could do anymore. So I went to her parents to have breakfast and she went to her room to call her best friend and talk to her brother about our marriage, about our future. They talked about how much they liked the wedding, how they really enjoyed the last 8 years, and I was sitting through a highlight reel of my relationship and it was gut-wrenching. It was heartbreaking to sit there not being able to cry or to make a scene or to shout or to just run away because for them everything was fine. For 1 hour I took all of that until she came back from her peer review of our life. She didn't say it, but it was clear as day. It was over. It was like she pulled the rug under my feet and I was standing on top of the world, and I cannot even tell you how many stories I stumbled and fell and how many scratches and broken bones and hearts I got until I finally hit the bottom. But the worst wasn't just the grief and the hurt that I felt. It was that I didn't know where I was, who I was. It felt like I lost myself. I lost my stability. I felt like I lost my identity. How did I turn the shit show around and end up here in front of you? I want to be very clear from the beginning. My understanding of rebuilding is that it never ends. I'm working on building the career I aspire, and it's clearly far from where I want it to be. Yet the progress is what I want to highlight with you, because it's not about where I or you are standing right now, even though the awareness is the base of every action you take, but it's about what you want to become. It's about what you aspire to be. And that's what I pursued in the last 4 years, and what I will continue to do for the rest of my life. The first thing you need to understand is where you are right now. Not because it defines you or you're necessarily to blame, but understanding where you are at right now lets you see the exit. Understanding the place you are at lets you understand the place you want to leave and the place you want to go to. Imagine yourself being a tennis player and finding yourself at the basketball court. How successful will you be? If you want to be creative, you want to be an artist, and you're stuck behind your office desk, what will become of you? Therefore, to get to your place to thrive, you need to see where you're at, and you need to see the place you need to leave. Secondly, you need to understand where you came from. Again, not for judgment or for blame, but for the possibility to change. Only if you understand what made you who you are today, you can choose to act differently and thus become different. I had lived my youth and young adult life with one person. I had shaped my idea of relationship with one person. I have shaped my idea about communication with one person. Love, one person. Friendship, mostly one person. Was that actually the right mindset that I grew for myself? Or do I need to go out there, make new experiences under new premises? I chose the latter, and it really showed me what mattered to me, what made me happy, what I needed in my life. And it keeps developing. And last but not least, the view of where you want to go. This perspective needs to be well examined as well. And if you ask yourself, why should I look into the future? Why should I bother to try to figure out what to do with myself? Let me tell you this. This is the last frame you need to be free. It's the frame you need to be able to make deliberate choices, to decide for yourself what you want to do. For me, it was education that truly freed me, that showed me what was in my hands to change and what were the things that I needed to accept. Luckily, nowadays we have so many resources. We have books, audiobooks, videos, movies, series, biographies, whatever you like, to figure out and get inspired who you want to become. If you're feeling lost or stuck, let me tell you, you are not alone. You might have had different hardships, yet I believe these ways will help you too. I have been in very high highs and very low lows, and let me tell you, it gets better. You don't have to have everything figured out yet. Just take this one small step today. To summarize the foundation of how you can turn your life around. Firstly, accept where you are today. Secondly, embrace your past with kindness. You should be grateful for whatever happened in your life and whatever you made out of it. You are here today to work on yourself, and this is amazing. Thirdly, figure out step by step where you want to go. It will change, it will evolve, you have so much left to do. So stay flexible, but think about it. Make deliberate choices. Fourth, no judgment. It is so important that you can constructively deal with all the good and the bad things in your life. This journey is not supposed to wear you down even more. It's supposed to lift you up. So don't judge yourself and be kind to yourself. Fifth, practice honesty with yourself and the people around you. This will dramatically increase your progress and the support that you can expect from everyone around you. Thank you so much for sticking around until the end of the video. And for you who did so, feel free to leave a like down below and help me reach as many people as possible who, just like you, might need some new perspective in their lives. You can expect insight into all 3 steps: assessing where you are right now, accepting where you came from, and figuring out where you want to go. If this and more interests you, then feel free to subscribe so you stay always up to date, and you can comment down below what topics you are interested in and what topics you want to have a new perspective on. This is your chance to join your place to thrive. I'm looking forward to seeing you again, and until then, stay kind and respectful.